Okay, let's dive in. Here's a question for you. How does innovation really happen in crypto? Especially, in the kind of wild world of meme coins.
Right, it's often unpredictable.
Exactly. So what if the next big thing wasn't dreamed up by some human team, but actually designed by artificial intelligence?
Interesting premise.
Well, today, that's what we're looking at. We're doing a deep dive into Turbo Token. It's this really unique cryptocurrency that basically started as an experiment guided by GPT-4.
Yeah, the AI angle is definitely the hook here.
For sure. So our mission today is to unpack that almost sci-fi origin story. We'll look at its core mechanics, analyze its market performance, which has been pretty staggering, frankly, and then see what the future might hold, all while trying to cut through the usual crypto noise.
And we're not just winging it. We've got the official white paper, some solid fundamental analysis from Sun Crypto, market data from CoinCodex and CoinMarketCap.
The big players.
Yeah, and even some insights from Octobot Cloud. So we've tried to gather a good range of sources.
Okay, so the origin. This whole thing apparently kicked off with someone basically challenging GPT-4. The prompt was something like, create the next big meme coin.
Right, but there was a twist.
Yes, the kicker. It had to be done on a ridiculously tight budget, just $69.
I know, it sounds almost like a joke. $69 to launch a crypto token.
It really does. But the founder apparently pledged to follow everything GPT-4 said, like every single instruction, documenting it all.
Which is fascinating in itself. It wasn't just about the AI idea, but the AI execution. It really showcases potentially how AI could guide these kinds of projects, maybe even disrupt how things normally get funded or started.
So it was conceived as a meme coin from the absolute beginning, playful, speculative.
Yeah, very much in that vein.
But does the AI part fundamentally change what it is? Or is it just, a novel backstory in a space that's already full of weird backstories?
That's a great question. I mean, its value, like you see with Doge or Shiba Inu, seems driven mostly by community hype, cultural appeal, market sentiment.
Not complex utility.
Not really, no. Its core nature behaves like a meme coin. The AI origin is more about how it came to be, which adds to the narrative, definitely.
And the visuals seem to lean into that too, right? There's that mascot, the sad frog in an astronaut helmet.
Right. And the psychedelic mushroom forest imagery you sometimes see associated with it.
It screams meme coin, but with a sort of quirky, almost retro futuristic vibe, maybe.
Exactly. It perfectly captures that unconventional, community-focused, maybe slightly absurd, meme-driven aesthetic. It fits the origin story.
Okay, let's get into the nuts and bolts then. The core structure, the philosophy behind it. Tokenomics first.
Sure. So one key thing is the fixed supply. A total of 69 billion turbo tokens.
69 billion, sticking with the theme there.
Seems so. And critically, all minted at launch. There's no mechanism for creating more, burning them, or anything like that. It's a fixed pie.
And how are they initially distributed?
Well, the bulk of it, 60 billion, was apparently crowdfunded. The remaining 9 billion were allocated to the founder.
Gotcha. And technically, it's built on Ethereum.
Yeah, it's an ERC20 token, so it runs on the Ethereum blockchain, leveraging its proof-of-stake network. That means secure, transparent transactions, theoretically decentralized.
And some key features stand out, especially for this kind of coin, like no transaction taxes.
That's a big one, yeah. Attracts traders. Also, the contract ownership was renounced.
Meaning the creator walked away, can't change the rules.
Exactly. It makes it immutable, supposedly putting control entirely in the hands of the community, which, really leans into that decentralized ethos.
Does that make it more resilient, do you think? Or just more unpredictable? Because that leads into their whole philosophy, right? The no roadmap thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the most talked about aspects. Most projects have these detailed roadmaps, promising features, timelines.
Right. Q3 deliverable X, Q4 partnership Y.
Precisely. But Turbo's white paper back in Q3 2023 literally said, no set roadmap, no promises, anything could happen.
Which is bold, or maybe crazy.
Or maybe just radically transparent about its nature. It basically says, we're not pretending this has some grand utility plan dictated from the top down. Instead, its future is purely up to the community, market forces, whatever happens organically.
It's a full-on experiment in decentralized direction then, betting that the collective hive mind is better than a plan.
Pretty much. It's a fascinating gamble on organic growth.
So that's the setup. But the truly mind-blowing part is how this experiment actually performed in the market. The numbers are just, wow.
They really are something. Okay, get this. The price increased by 13,000% in just 1 year.
13,000%. That's astronomical.
It is. To give some context, its all-time low is way down at like 0.0000001547 back in May 2023.
Oh.
And the price now, even after some pullbacks, represents something like a 26,500% increase from that absolute bottom.
That's hard to even comprehend. It really shows the power of narrative and community, doesn't it? Even without that traditional utility focus.
Absolutely. Its all-time high hit 01436, which was in December 2024.
And where does it stand now, roughly?
Well, as of our recording, it's ranked around hashtag 159 on CoinMarketCap. Market cap is hovering around $284 million USD.
Still substantial.
Definitely. And decent trading volume too, about $26 million in 24 hours. And over 56,000 holders.
56,000 people holding a token conceived by AI on a $69 budget. What does that tell us about crypto market psychology?
It tells us that story matters a lot. And the ecosystem isn't static either. There's been recent news about partnerships with gaming companies.
Gaming. Is that a pivot towards utility, you think, or just trying to tap into another hype sector?
That's the question, isn't it? Given its meme roots, is this a genuine strategic move or just broadening the narrative? They've also added staking recently.
Staking. So holders can lock up tokens for rewards.
Yeah, a mechanism to earn more turbo, basically. Adds another layer to its tokenomics.
Okay, so let's try to understand the dynamics driving its price. It behaves like other meme coins, right? Influenced heavily by social media.
Oh, massively. Twitter trends, Reddit discussions, influencers that can cause huge, rapid swings in user base and price. We've seen it time and again with Doge, Shiba, and now Turbo seems to fit that pattern.
But it's not just social media hype in a vacuum.
No, absolutely not. Broader market conditions are crucial. Things like overall crypto market sentiment, any new regulations coming down the pipe, simple supply and demand.
Bitcoin halvings.
Yep, those major events ripple through everything. Protocol updates on Ethereum could matter too, or even negative stuff like major exchange hacks. And don't forget the whales.
Ah, the big holders.
Exactly. Especially in coins with relatively smaller market caps like Turbo, large holders making big buys or sells can really move the needle. They're the big fish in a comparatively smaller pond.
So looking at the current sentiment, the technical analysis seems a bit gloomy.
Right now, yeah. Based purely on technical indicators, the sentiment is leaning bearish. More signals flashing sell than buy.
Okay, but then there's that other metric, the fear and greed index.
Yeah, and that's where it gets interesting. The fear and greed index for Turbo is currently sitting at 60.
Which means?
That indicates greed among investors. So you have the technical charts maybe looking weak, but the overall investor psychology, according to this index, is actually leaning towards optimism. Or maybe FOMO. Bit of a disconnect.
Interesting divergence. What about volatility?
It's been pretty volatile, as you'd expect, around 12.9% over the last 30 days. And it had 13 green days out of the last 30. So positive price action about 43% of the time recently.
Okay, so we've seen the past, the mechanics, the current mood. Let's tackle the big one. The future. Predictions. But first, the big flashing warning sign.
Absolutely crucial disclaimer time.
Yes, everything we're about to mention is based on predictive models, algorithms, historical data. It is not financial advice.
Not even close. These are just forecast possibilities. The crypto market is incredibly volatile.
Always do your own thorough research. Consult with an independent financial professional before making any investment decisions. Seriously.
Couldn't stress that enough. Okay, disclaimer delivered.
Right. So with that giant asterisk, what are the short-term predictions saying?
Well, according to CoinCodex's model, the forecast for the next year or so is actually a bit negative. It predicts a potential drop of around 25%, landing somewhere near 0.003131 by, say, September 2025.
25% down. So CoinCodex suggests maybe it's a bad time to buy based on that particular forecast.
That's their interpretation of that specific short-term technical outlook, yeah.
Well, what about longer term, say 2026 to 2030?
Looking further out, the models generally turn more bullish. For 2026, the average predicted price is around 0.00622. That could represent, a potential ROI of roughly 177% from current levels if it pans out.
Okay, a significant jump if that happens and out of 2030.
The projections get even higher. The average price forecasted for 2030 is around 0.0111. Potential ROI there could be in the ballpark of 328%.
So the models see short-term bearishness but long-term bullishness. That seems common in crypto predictions.
It often is, yeah. It highlights that speculative element, the belief in future growth overriding immediate technical signals.
Yeah.
Especially for meme coins, where narrative can shift quickly.
Are there any like really long-range moonshot predictions? Like hitting $1 or something?
Well, the models get fuzzier the further out you go, obviously. Some suggest it could potentially reach 10 cents. 10 cents maybe by like 2050. But forecasts generally don't see it hitting $1, let alone $10.
10 cents by 2050. Okay.
Right.
Again, massive grain of salt with anything that far out.
Absolutely. Pure speculation based on current trends extrapolated decades into the future.
So wrapping this all up, Turbo Token's journey, from an AI prompt and $69 to becoming a noticeable player in the meme coin arena, it's undeniably remarkable.
It really is. Driven almost purely by that community buzz and market sentiment rather than a traditional product roadmap.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Can a project truly succeed long-term just on collective belief and mimetic energy, or do you eventually need that concrete utility and plan?
That's the million-dollar question, maybe even the $284 million question in Turbo's case right now. And it leads to a bigger thought.
Yeah.
What does something like Turbo mean for the future? The fact that AI can generate, or at least kickstart, a digital asset like this, is this just a novelty, or is it like a peek into a future where AI plays a much bigger role in creating financial instruments or even decentralized organizations?
Is it a new phase for DeFi, maybe?
Yeah.
Or just a very clever new skin on the same speculative game?
Exactly. Food for thought.
Definitely. And for you, our listener, we hope this dive into Turbo gave you some perspective. Think about AI's role here, that blend of tech and pure cultural momentum.
And as always, in this crazy, fast-moving crypto space,
Remember the golden rule. Do your own research. Always.